great inning from Corey Marlowe. Sorry for the technical difficulties. Oilmen don't score. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning in an 8-5 score. Bottom of the 6th inning, with the Corndogs trailing 8-5. Andrew Mild with Noel Ferry up in the booth. And Kuziak Construction, a proud partner of the Lake County Corndogs, is your complete home improvement expert. From home remodeling, repairs, and roofing, we do it right. Contact us today at 219-923-3007. That's 219-923-3007. And attorney David Gladish represents clients that have cases involving personal injury, wrongful death, auto accidents, medical malpractice, and more. Visit dgladishlaw.com to learn more. That's dgladishlaw.com. Corndogs down 3. It's still Silas Snow on the bump for the Oilmen, and that's going to send up Jacob Ferry. Ferry 0 for 2 with a ground out to second base and a fly out to center field. Corndogs did break through and score 2 runs in the bottom of the 6th to make this a 3-run game. So they're still in arm's length of the Oilmen, and the pitch from No is no good as it stayed up for ball 1 to Ferry. Ferry 2 hits yesterday. First couple of hits in a Corndogs uniform, facing off against his former team, and he takes a cut and fouls it off to the left, 1-1. Those are the first 2 hits. Makes him 2 for 11 on the season, heading into today's game, with a couple of RBIs, but he's only struck out 3 times, so he's putting the ball in play, just trying to buy himself a hit. The 1-1 pitch sinks down low, 2 balls and 1 strike.
If you're the Corndogs here, you have to look at the situation for what it is. You know, you're only down 3. It was a disastrous inning, but this game is still in reach.
Especially the way that the Corndogs were able to grab some momentum in that bottom of the 5th inning, scoring 2 runs after 3 straight hits from the top of this Corndog order in Noble, Terry, and Schultz. The first time you've seen those 3 names consecutively, and a good time to have them in this final game of the series. And there's strike 1 to Ferry. He watched it go on that outside corner to make it 3-1. Actually, 3-2. It's 3-2 to Ferry. Corndogs would like to get some traffic on the base pass to try and chip away at the Oilmen lead. The payoff pitch. Ferry hits one to the right side, and it gets through into right field. Ferry rolled over on the fastball and was able to sneak it through the second baseman, Tyler Fama-Cannon, who was playing up the middle, and he couldn't get there. And for the second consecutive inning, Noel, the Corndogs have a leadoff knock.
Yeah. And this is Cal Curiel up now, who's been struggling this year so far at bat. He's batting 133, I believe, before heading into this game, and he's looking to get some confidence here.
He swung at the first pitch in 2 at-bats. He takes one there. It was a slider from No, and it's a called strike from home plate umpire Andy Pappas. Curiel, the defensive replacement yesterday. He's 0-2 today. Hits one in the infield. It's Fama-Cannon there. He catches it, and there's 1 out. That was Curiel got beat with the slider there, and there's 1 out. This is the only game in the Northern League today, as Noel mentioned at the top of this broadcast. This is a makeup game from Friday due to the weather. Just 2 inches of rain that day. It was not a good day for baseball, but I will take today's weather for sure. Cloud coverage, sun out, good breeze. Deal takes one upstairs. It's 1-0.
Good way to go about this. You know, you don't have to score all your runs in this inning. You can slowly crawl your way back with singles here and there.
Deal gets ahead of a fastball and hits it down the line for a foul ball. 1-1. Deal, no official at bat yet today, but he does have a stolen base as he's picked up 2 walks, both against Jake Paymaster, who departed after the 4th inning. So we went 4 innings today, the 1-1. It's up, and it gets away from Cabeza. There goes Jake Ferry up the second base as Silas Snow says, my bad to his catcher, and that goes down as a wild pitch. So now the Corndogs have a runner in scoring position with 1 gone. Jaden Deal, who's caught in all 4 games for the Corndogs thus far this season, is at the plate. He fouls one straight back just above our GoPro that decided it wasn't going to work today. It's 2-2.
I was looking that ball right in the eyes as that hit the fence.
And I remember a game against the Gateway Grizzlies last year. Their broadcaster was jumping at every time a ball went his direction. But there was a window in front of him and the netting. Break-even pitch to Deal, and he watches it go above the strike zone. It's a full count. The Corndogs would love to get Deal on base and set up Austin Ridgway, who's on deck. And Ridgway would represent the tying run. Full count. Runner on second. That's Jake Ferry over there. Lit off this inning with a single. 3-2. Not even close as Jaden Deal dropped down, took the bat with him just in case it hit it. It wouldn't make it a foul ball. And the tying run comes up to the plate.
Once again, Austin Ridgway in a big situation here, just like he found himself in the other inning. Runners on first and second. Only 1 out here.
Big situation yesterday where Ridgway hit that 2 RBI double down the line. No, misses away there, 1-0. And this is what the Corndogs have been doing very well through the first 2 games of this series. Being patient at the plate, working their way on. Ridgway, the 9-hitter, would like to set the table for Donovan Noble, who's on deck. Big cut from Ridgway, got on top of the fastball, 1-1.
Ridgway is able to fight this at bat and potentially reach first on a walk or even a single. We've got Donovan Noble up back at the top of the rotation, who has been playing great today.
Here it comes, the 1-1. It's a slider that's by the feet of Ridgway. He takes it for a 2-1 count. Ridgway, who came onto this team with a temporary contract, was then guaranteed a full-year contract, the 2-1. He fouls it off to the left, 2-2. After his big hit yesterday and his ability to show that he wants to play baseball and play to the highest of his abilities. He wasn't heavily recruited by the Corndogs. He was texting Ralph Flores, trying to get on the team. Ralph gave him the chance, and Ridgway ran away with it. Break even. Hit in the air, left side. Hodges coming in. Can he make the play? He can't. It could be a close play at second. There's no one there. And that'll go down as a single for Ridgway, and the bases are full of Corndogs for the top of the order.
Here we go. Donovan Noble, 1 for 2 on the day. And he has a huge chance to put this game even closer for the Corndogs here. This is the second time today we have seen major miscommunication between us, Jason Hodges, and David Marshall in the outfield.
That's twice now with the Corndogs and able to bloop one in. We talked about the Kansas City special earlier on in this game, and Schultz had one to drive in a run, and now Ridgway picks one up. Noble at the plate. The pitch from No. It's up, 1-0. No one, it looks like someone is warming up, actually, for the Oilmen. And the way that we're angled, we can't see the top of their body. We just see some gray pants sticking out. It's a 1-0 count to Noble. Bases full of Corndogs. The pitch. In the dirt, it gets past Capesa, who actually lost his glove. He flips it to no, and is he safe? They actually get Ferry out at home. So there's the second out, and I mentioned it in one of the first games we had. It's that all-brick backstop. If the ball doesn't hit it correctly, the catcher can then pick it up and flip it to the pitcher covering, and the Oilmen were able to buy out there, and that's a huge out because that's the second one. And all they need is one to get out of here with no runs scored. 2-1 put out. Ferry at the plate. Deal and Ridgway move up one base. But a base hit from Noble here could drive in 2 runs. Ridgway does have good speed over at second. 2 balls, no strikes. Noble hits one on the ground, left side. It's Marshall. He gathers, fires the first, and the Oilmen tiptoe their way around danger and don't allow any runs to score. We go to the 7th, 8-5 Oilmen. Sixth complete. Score is 8-5 in favor of the Northwest Indiana Oilmen. As we go into the 7th inning, we hand it off to Noel Ferry.
Thank you, Andrew. And looking out onto the field today, we see the beautiful blue of the Corndogs uniforms, and a reminder that Macron, the official jersey partner of the Lake County Corndogs, work hard, play harder. They came out with some great uniforms for the Corndogs this year, and we have still yet to see an alternative uniform for the Corndogs.
The white ones are on the way. Hope to see them very soon.
Strike one called for Jake Zabig. His at bat. 0-1 the count. The 0-1. That's down in the dirt for ball one. This has just been a very sloppy pitching game from both sides, that is. We've seen a lot of wild pitches down in the dirt, hit by pitches, the 1-1. That's outside for ball two.
Might be a little bit of that, and we've been spoiled with some really good pitching from the Corndogs in the last 2 games.
2-1, that's fouled straight back by Zabig. Here at the top of the 7th, Oilmen finally feeling comfortable in this series for the first time throughout these past couple days. Here comes the 2-2. That's outside. Full count, 3-2. Corndogs have felt pretty comfortable so far. The 3-2, that's outside, and that is going to be a walk. Jake Zabig heads to first. The new pitcher for the Corndogs still struggling. It seemed that ever since that hit by pitch that sent Nolan Rimkus out of the game, the Corndogs pitching from anyone has just not been the same. Joe Cosenza up to bat for the Oilmen, waiting for his first pitch. That's up top for ball one. Corey Marlowe, brand new player, delivers the 1-0. Once again, up high, 2-0. We were barely even sure who Marlowe was coming into today. Still getting some surprises out here on the roster. He tries to pick off at first, a little too late. Marlowe delivers the 2-0. That's hit straight back. That's going to go over the head of Schultz. Gavin Terry loses it in the outfield, but they were not paying attention. Jake Zabig had a chance to go home there as Gavin Terry was unable to come up with the ball even after it rolled straight to him. If Zabig had kept his head up and looked at what was going on in the outfield, he easily could have made it home there, but he advances to third. And Joe Cosenza reaches on a single. Tyler Famakanen hits one straight to Marlowe, who throws to first and easily gets that out there to Mathies. Runner stays at third. But Joe Cosenza advances to second. Runners on second and third. Marlowe looking to get out of this one.
Yeah, on that play right there, Zabeg had to stop at third base because it was initially popped up in the infield and had to make sure it was going to come down. But by the time it had fallen, he had to stay at third base.
Way outside for ball one on Dom Cusio. Dom 1 for 3 on the day. Takes high, ball two.
You're looking at the stats of Marlowe. Hit a .92 ERA in 29 in the third innings as a sophomore for Rose Holman this past season.
The 2-0, that one's hit over the head of Tyler Schultz once again. That's going to score 1 and 2 for the Oilmen as that throw is way out of line. And Curcio is going to head to second on that, counted as a double. And Gavin Terry's throw home was way out of line for Deal.
Yeah, that's going to go down as a single, and then advancing on the throw is Curcio. Terry tried to throw out the runner at home, but that's a big hit for the Oilmen. And they're now up 10-5 on Lake County.
Just when it looked like this game was going to potentially be back in reach for the Corndogs, they're out there talking to their pitcher again.
It looked like they just went to the bullpen, Noel.
They're now bringing out what looks to be Zach Bierling on the mound for his second appearance for the Corndogs this season. And we will be right back after this pitching change here at Legacy Field. Welcome back to Legacy Field here. This pitching change is brought to you by IBEW Local 697, proud partner of the Lake County Corndogs. And Andrew, just has been a bit of a fall apart here for the Corndogs.
Yeah, we were really spoiled with the way of play of the Corndogs through the first 2 games of this series, and even on Monday against the Vikings. But today is just nothing's been going right, and see if Bierling can get the Corndogs out of this.
Bierling delivers up high for ball 1. He was another temporary player signed, appeared in the first game for the Corndogs. Bierling delivers. That one's way outside for ball 2. 2-0 the count. Overall, the Corndogs have gone through plenty of pitchers today. Everyone's just struggling around the whole team. So that one's up high for ball 3. 3-0 for Zach Bierling.
He's not finding the strike zone, and we watched that happen to the Oilmen in a few innings this series where they allowed some free bases and let the Corndogs capitalize.
That strike called. Jason Hodges believed that one was outside for ball 4. 3-1 the count. He delivers, and that's up high for ball 4. Another walk for the Corndogs here. 1 out, top of the 7th. Runners on first and second. A friendly reminder that Misprint, the official printing partner of the Lake County Corndogs, we specialize in delivering the highest quality signs and printing on time and within budget. Big or small, we do it all. Visit misprintindiana.com to learn more about our services. That's strike 1 for Chris Baker. Bierling finally able to find the strike zone. Something the Corndogs pitchers have been struggling with today. 0-1, outside, ball 1. That one was a little closer than what we've been seeing recently, but still not good enough for the ump. Bierling, keeping an eye on second, delivers the 1-1. That's outside once again for ball 2. This game definitely got out of hand for the Corndogs here. And really, it's a mixture of things. It's the poor fielding, the pitching. Here comes the 2-1. That's popped straight back by Baker. 2-2. Jaden Deal has had to deal with a lot of wild pitches that went past him, trying to flip it back to the pitcher to get the outs, but unable to do so successfully once today as Baker fouls another one straight back. That was what caused a lot of the runs in that 5th inning for the Oilmen. Wild pitches. 2-2 for Chris Baker. Bierling still keeping an eye on second, delivers way outside. Full count once again for Zach Bierling.
It just feels as though the Oilmen, after that huge inning, have really regained their confidence. After the game against Shaman Plezak, they didn't really look like they wanted to get up to the plate.
3-2 fouled straight back once again.
And this is the team that had only had 8 hits through the first 2 games, but today they put in the ball in play a lot more, and they've picked up 9 hits thus far.
Something we mentioned earlier, the Oilmen just didn't really seem to be able to find a rhythm because the Corndogs pitchers were just way too laser focused and deep into their bags, but they have jumped on the opportunity. Full count. Once again, that one's hit deep right field. Ferry is not going to be able to get there. And both runs will score as Baker reaches second. And the Oilmen are on top, 12-5. That one, another one, almost had a chance to be out of here for a home run had it not been for the wind. Kyle Zarnecki now at the plate. And this is now a 7-run game.
And it looked like the Oilmen were on the move there, and Baker saw an inside fastball, turned on it, and put it down the line and drove in a couple more runs. And once again, another inning where the Oilmen had put up a crooked number.
The first pitch fouled straight back. Crowd reacts to that one. 0-1 to Kyle Zarnecki. Bierling delivers. Almost hits him once again. That would be the third hit by pitch we would have seen today. After that scary one that sent Nolan Rimkus out of the game. Zarnecki hits one straight up. Austin Ridgway is back there to catch it. And Baker will take off from second after tagging up. And the throw is too late from Ridgway to Cal Curiel. And Baker reaches third.
Now batting for the Oilmen, number 4, David Marshall.
2 outs now for the Oilmen. David Marshall up to bat, with Chris Baker standing on third. Marshall 0 for 2 on the day, gets his first pitch, which is up high. Ball 1. And even on the plays where, the pitchers are seeming to be able to get away with something, it doesn't go right for the Corndogs. As that one hit deep into center field. Gavin Terry running back to get it and dives and makes the play for the Corndogs to end the inning. And finally a bright spot, something to smile about for the Corndogs. Gavin Terry showing off his speed and makes the diving catch. We will be right back in the bottom of the 7th inning. Welcome back to today's matchup, Game 3 of the Northwest Indiana Oilmen versus the Lake County Corndogs. And a reminder that Off Square Brewing, the official brewing partner of the Lake County Corndogs, at Off Square Brewing, we strive to be just that, off square. We think and brew outside the box. Gavin Terry up to bat for the Corndogs. He takes strike 1. Terry just completed that miraculous catch in the outfield where he had to run several yards to catch that ball. He hits one over the head of David Marshall, and he's able to reach, once again showing off his impressive game today.
Yeah, that makes him 3 for 4 on the day, and even had multi-hits in the game on Thursday. So in this series, he's had 5 hits and has reached base 7 times. Well, actually, correction, 6 times, but still, phenomenal series from Gavin Terry.
He even missed yesterday. Who knows how good of a series he could have had if he was here. Tyler Schultz takes his first. That's outside for ball 1. This top of the rotation is proving to be very lethal for the Corndogs with Noble, Terry, and Schultz. All three have multiple hits today. Cabeza attempts to pick off Terry at first as he was standing a little bit too far off there. Terry's able to make it back. 2 balls, no strikes here for Tyler Schultz. Terry's taking a big lead once again. Schultz fouls one off to the left. We're likely to see Terry take off here at any moment.
Always dangerous on the base pass.
Yeah.
He's a show to watch when we're up here, and he's over at first base.
Tyler Schultz waiting for the 2-0. That's fouled off to the same spot, once again off to the left. Schultz, I believe 3 for 3 on the day.
Yes, he is 3 for 3 on the day. The single in the first, the double in the third, and the single in the fifth. But then he was caught stealing as he found the softest spot on the infield over by second base.
Here comes the 2-0, and Terry goes. Cabeza throws to second, and he is out. The tag comes down, and Terry is unable to steal at second.
Just trying to get something going here on offense. And it was a good throw by Cabeza, who had kept a close eye on Terry throughout this entire at-bat. But that's the first out for the Oilmen.
Schultz takes the 3-2, and that's up for ball 4. And there's a walk for the Corndogs. That brings up Doug Loden. Tyler Schultz advances to first, and he has reached base all 4 times today.
It's the top of the order has been doing a lot of the damage for the Corndogs today, but we're looking for the meat of this order, the 4, 5, 6 spots to step up and get some big hits here.
Corndogs expecting a lot from Loden this season. He takes his first up and away for ball 1.
The former MCL Minuteman, who had, I believe, around 6 home runs on the season, and 4 of them were against the Chicago American Giants.
Another huge swing and a miss by Doug Loden, and we are very used to seeing that. This guy gives every single swing 100% power.
I'm surprised that his Under Armour shoes are still in the bottom of his feet every time he takes a big cut like that.
No, attempts to take off Schultz at first. Schultz able to make it back in time. Doug Loden, currently 0 for 3 on the day, hoping to get something going. That's up too high, ball 2. The Oilmen definitely took their chances and ran with it for this ball game. Stifled any hopes the Corndogs had. Here comes the 2-1 swing and a miss. Another huge one from Loden. And to me, when I see Loden out there, I immediately think that he's just getting in his head almost every at-bat that he's there for. He knows what he wants. He swings for the fences every time and doesn't really seem like he's going for any type of base hits whatsoever. I see another huge swing and a miss from Loden there. He strikes out swinging. 2 outs here, bottom of the 7th inning, and that brings up Brett Mathies. Mathies, another pretty quiet day on offense. Schultz at first. Mathies takes his first. That's right down the middle for strike 1.
Yeah, breaking ball from no. Mathies wasn't sitting on breaking ball. Rightfully so on the first pitch, so he's willing to take it to see another one.
0-1. That one's hit foul hard right past Jake Zabig.
And looks like Mathies is going to have to go get a new piece of lumber. Is that one cracked?
We've
Even
seen
sound like it.
plenty of broken bats here throughout these games. It's a wooden bat league. I believe yesterday Andrew kept referencing the bonfire that we're going to see after this series, and we certainly have enough broken bats to do so.
Yeah, I'm wondering if broken bats can turn into good firewood.
0-2. Mathies pops one deep to right field, but Chris Baker is there. almost lost it, but that will end the inning for the Corndogs. No runs scored here, and we head to the top of the 8th inning.
End of 7th inning.
Welcome back to Legacy Field. I'm Noel Ferry, sending it back to Andrew Mild.
All right, thanks, Noel. Good job today on the play-by-play. And Plumbers Local 210 is a proud partner of the Lake County Corndogs. We strive to provide and maintain education of apprentices and upgrading of journeymen in the plumbing industry. Plumbers Local 210. We're in the 8th inning, as Noel mentioned, and the Oilmen still lead at 12-5 as the Corndogs have the long way to go to make this comeback. And we'll start with Sebastian Cabeza in the Oilmen's part of the 8th inning, where they've had some extremely long innings today. Outside 2-0. I think it's safe to say that top of the 5th inning, where they scored 8 runs, combined for some of the 1, 2, 3 innings that they had in this series, which has been a lot against the Corndog pitching. It's 3-0 from Zach Bierling. Bierling's the 4th pitcher to pitch today for the Corndogs. Joining the list of James Burke, Will Pettit, and Corey Marlowe. The 3-0. Hit in the air, right side. Matthijs tracking it by the line. And he secures it, tiptoeing his way out of bounds. Football style right there. Some toe drag swag from Matthijs.
Yeah. Don't believe Matthijs is one of those dual sport athletes we have on the team, but maybe put him out at wide receiver and see what happens.
I feel like Brett Matthijs could be a very good dual threat quarterback. Here comes the pitch. There's a strike to Zabig. He's left-handed. He's got good speed, and clearly knows where the out-of-bounds marker is. This one's hitting the left. Ridgeway going to the line. He's running as fast as he can, but couldn't make the play, and it goes as a long strike for Jack Zabig.
That's another business decision there by Ridgeway. Maybe could have dove for that one, but that was entering the gravel on the warning track, so didn't want to do that there.
Will be 0-2 Zabig after he steps back to the plate. After today's game, the Corndogs will have tomorrow and Tuesday off. Bierling throws a great breaking ball, and he strikes out Zabig for his first strikeout in the Corndogs uniform and for the second out. And then we will be in Joliet, Illinois for the doubleheader against the defending league champions, the Joliet Generals. And finally get to come back to Crown Point on Friday in the rematch against the Southland Vikings, who beat the Corndogs in the first game of the franchise's young start on Monday, 3-2 victory for Southland. Here comes Bierling with the 1-0, and it's a strike to Joe Cosenza, who's 2 for 2 after entering for Nolan Rimkus. And Cosenza called time. Andy Pappas granted it, the home plate umpire, as Bierling works very quick on the mound. That's up and in. 2-1 is the count. But great crowd on hand for all 3 games. Really saw the enthusiasm for this new team here in Lake County, especially on Thursday's game. Really got into it. Break-even pitch. Strike 3. A great inning from Zach Bierling. Comes in, goes 1-2-3 with back-to-back strikeouts to close out the 8th. We go to the bottom of this frame with the score still 12-5 for the bad guys. Seven half innings have come and gone as we're in the bottom of the 8th inning. And Purdue Federal Credit Union is the official credit union of the Lake County Corndogs. Purdue Federal Credit Union in Indiana offers valuable banking solutions, including checking accounts, savings accounts, mortgages, credit cards, business solutions, student banking, and much more. Visit PurdueFed.com to learn more today. That's PurdueFed.com. And Jake Ferry, the Moorhead State player that just came off his sophomore year, will lead off for Lake County as he watches one drop in for a strike. It's a slow breaking ball from Silas Snow. He works into his 4th frame after coming in for Jack Paymaster. That'd been great to do the Purdue Federal Credit Union read during when Jake Paymaster was pitching. 0-2 after swinging a miss. I think that would have went hand in hand because at Purdue Federal Credit Union, they are paymasters.
Definitely. That's the best way to describe them.
The proud sponsor of the Lake County Corndogs. Featured down the right field line. 0-2, just about outside. Tried for the corner and missed. 1-2. Channeling my inner. I'm blanking on the name, the broadcaster for the Milwaukee Brewers, and I feel like I'm not doing my job as a broadcaster justice. Bob Euchre, 1-2. And it's fouled off by Ferry.
That one's going straight towards my car.
Did you ever listen to the documentary that's on Bob Euchre?
Can't say I have.
Bob Euchre is easily the funniest broadcaster they have ever stepped into a booth. 1-2, and that's upstairs. He once made this claim, which I thought was great. They were talking about how athletes in that time, I believe it was in the 80s and 90s, when Jordan, Johnson, and Bird, 2-2, hit to the right side, sinking in, and base hit for Ferry. The leadoff hit for the Corndogs. And that's Ferry's 2nd hit of the game, and it's making him 4 for his last 8, as he had 2 for 4 yesterday. He's 2 for 4 today. Consistency. But he made this claim, he was on the Tonight Show, and the host, and actually going to be a pitching change, so of course trying to get into this story, and then the Oilmen go to their bullpen. So Oilmen are going to go to the bullpen. We'll come back with the name and the number of the new hurler, and then I'll finish the rest of my story. 12-5, Oilmen lead. It's the pitching change, and every pitching change is brought to you by IBEW Local 697, proud partner of the Lake County Corndogs. That's going to be Caleb Deal on the mound. He pitched in the game on Thursday. We went inning, one hit. He walked one, but no runs scored in that inning against the Corndogs. And the first hitter that will greet Deal is Cal Curiel. So after this pitch to Curiel, it'll be official. And that's inside. Actually, it hits Curiel. So the first pitch from Caleb Deal runs in and clips the Corndogs' third baseman. They'll trot up to first base, moving up Ferry the second. And the Corndogs have a runner in scoring position down 7. They're trying to drop that right play that can get them into the end zone and line up that extra point and tie it up. Deal, no official at bat today. 0 for 0 with 3 walks and a stolen base. He's been pretty disciplined at the plate today against the Oilmen. Here comes the pitch. Down low, 1-0.
It's a long shot, but never give up, they say.
Who says it?
Down 7. Who
says
says
that?
it? Noel
Yeah.
Ferry says it.
Noel Ferry says it. Okay. Noel Ferry is they. So if referring to they, it will always be to Noel Ferry. So 1 ball and no strike count to Jaden Deal. Here it comes. And it's hit on the infield, but heading out of foul territory as it heads right above us. Heard a loud thump. And 1-1. Well, anyway, the story goes, Bob Euchre at Tonight Show with Johnny Carson. And Carson asked him about these deals with the athletes. And he asked him, did you ever get a deal when you were playing? Because Euchre had been a catcher in the major leagues with the Braves when they were in the Milwaukee and the St. Louis Cardinals when they won the World Series over the Yankees. And he said, well, yeah, they offered me money for me not to wear their stuff. It was an ongoing joke that Euchre wasn't a great ball player in his time. Off the end of the bat, into right field, base hit for Deal. Everybody moves up one station as Tyler Famacannon dove for it, couldn't bring it in, and here comes Austin Ridgway.
Well, Corndogs once again have something cooking. And bases loaded, no outs. Austin Ridgway on, almost at the top of the order. If you want to mount a comeback, this is the way to get it started.
This is a fryer full of Corndogs on the bases right now with Austin Ridgway at the plate. He's 1 for 3 with 2 strikeouts and a single. And he swings at the first one, gets a piece of it, and makes it go foul for 0-1.
Ridgway a couple times has swung at pitches that he knew were going to go as a ball, and you can see the frustration in his face.
He's been aggressive at the plate thus far. See if he can place one into the gap. Here comes the pitch from Deal. And it sinks low, gets away from the catcher, Cabeza, but not far enough away for the Corndogs to try and go home. It's 1 ball and 1 strike, and the man on third is Jake Ferry, and he was caught in that tough play where it careened off the brick right to Cabeza, who turned around and flipped it to Silas Snow covering home and cut down Ferry trying to score. So he knows better now. 1-1. Ground ball right side. It gets through in the right field for a single. Ferry scores. Curiel's heading home. He scores. And it's 12-7. Oilmen still lead it, but the Corndogs threaten with 2 runners on base, down 5, with the top of the order coming up.
Wow. This is exactly what you need if you are the Corndogs. Now down 5.
Big round of applause for number 11, Donovan Noble.
So for this inning, the Corndogs, 4 hitters have reached base consecutively. Single, HBP, hit by pitch, single and single, and here comes Noble. Noble hit a hard one last time right to the shortstop, David Marshall. He was retired to end the 6th. It's 12-7, Corndogs trailing. Noble shows bunt, and it looked good for a moment before it slid his way out of fair territory. It's 0-1 to Noble.
Mind you, there are still no outs in this inning for the Corndogs right now. If they can keep this up, these singles, getting some walks, watch out if you're the Oilmen.
Noble from Chicago, Illinois, played at South Suburban, is behind 0-1. That was a backhanded play. The throw down the second. Ridgway is there because there was no tag because Fama Cannon could not secure the baseball, and Ridgway buys a break, and there's 2 runners in scoring position. It was a ball in the dirt that somehow, someway, Cabeza backhanded, picked it up, made a good throw to second, but Fama Cannon could not secure it. So we have runners on third and second. Noble's base hit could make this a 3-run game. Deal is set. Here it comes. It's in the dirt. It gets past Cabeza, and not a good read from Deal as it kicked all the way to the Oilmen dugout, and he retreats back to third. It's 2-1 count.
That Deal definitely thought about it there, but him being a catcher himself, maybe that puts it into a little bit different of a perspective. But on the previous play, Ridgway was well beat. He did not expect Cabeza to be able to make that play, but just some poor fielding by the Oilmen.
It was a low throw that popped in and out of the glove of Fama Cannon, where Ridgway didn't even slide trying to get in the second. 2 balls, 1 strike. Deal deals. In the center field, moving in is Curciel. He makes the catch. He throws. Will it beat Deal? It will not because it's up the line. Deal scores. It's a sacrifice fly for Donovan Noble, who put a good swing of the bat on that pitch, but unfortunately right into the teeth of the defense. But the threat for the Corndogs are still going as Ridgway stayed at second base for the red-hot Gavin Terry.
Terry 3 for 4, runner on second. He could put this game within reach for the Corndogs right here.
Right now it's 12-8, Oilmen leading. Corndogs down 4, and they have 5 outs to play with. Terry watches one miss outside. Make the count 1-0. Terry went hitless in his first game, but then came back on Thursday, put up a great performance. As we've mentioned, 2 hits and 4 at-bats, 2 runs, a couple of stolen bases. He's having another great day today. The 1-0, outside. Teal has that unorthodox arm slot where he drops down just the slightest of bit and gets a 2-seam fastball to run on his arm side and then a slider to run in on left-handed hitters. In his 2-0 count, he may go to that inside slider. But Terry can go to all fields. He has a great approach. The pitch. Inside, Terry backs off the plate. It's a 3-ball and no strike count. If Terry reaches base, the tying run would be on deck for the Corndogs. Right now, it's Tyler Schultz on deck, who's 3 for 3, but has reached base all 4 times as he drew a walk in the 7th. Assuming there's a red light here on Terry, and he doesn't even have to take the bat off his shoulder. It's a 4-pitch walk. Maybe this is what the Corndogs have been searching for. As Gavin Terry has now reached base 4 times today.
Here comes Tyler Schultz, 3 for 3 on the day. We have seen some amazing offense from Tyler Schultz today. Maybe he can keep it going.
If Schultz can get on base, Doug Loden would represent the Corndogs' all-important 4th run. And they would make that a tie game if he could score. But we have to see what Schultz does in his at-bat. Bullpen is moving for the Oilmen. Schultz clobbered a double off the wall for the 2nd double in the history of this franchise. And there's a slow slider that's below Schultz's knees, and that's 5 straight balls from Deal. Not the inning that the manager, Adam Enright, was looking for. It's not Deal's best inning. He had a good inning in his last appearance against the Dogs. 1-0. Schultz clobbers it. Left center field gap. Hodges going back. He goes, and it drops in. Ridgway's going to head third. He's headed for home. Terry is going to slow up. He goes through the stop sign. The throw from Fama Cannon. Not in time. A 2-run double from Tyler Schultz, who puts up deuces to his dugout. It's a 2-run game, 12-10.
And the confidence by Gavin Terry to run through that stop sign there at third base. He knows how fast he is. We know how fast he is. And he gets home for the Corndogs.
Tyler Schultz is 4 for 4 with 2 doubles, and Enright has seen enough. He goes to his bullpen. It looks like they're going to a left-hander. Appears that it's going to be Justin Johnson from Marion. He's from Cedar Lake, Indiana. He graduated from Marion Catholic in 2021, and he'll see if he can stop the bleeding here as you hear the Rocky theme song going on. I think that is a perfect representation of what the Corndogs are trying to do, and that's play the underdogs late in the game.
Wow. We have seen the Corndogs come in and score 5 runs in the bottom of the 8th inning. I mean, we have completely changed our attitudes here, Andrew. Shame on us. We thought the game was anything but it was over.
But you're right. The Corndogs have not gone away. They have compiled some great at-bats. Even the one out in this inning was a productive out from Donovan Noble. But Enright goes to a lefty, and Justin Johnson, who's warming up, and you see it. He comes from the side also, so it's going to be across his body to Doug Loden, who's on deck. Loden has power. We've yet to see it yet, but it'd be a great time to showcase it. Schultz is at second base. I mean, it all starts with Schultz today, really. And for Noble and Terry to set the table time and time again for Schultz, and then Schultz to be the person that keeps driving them in. And it's just been an incredible matchup thus far. And it's 12-10, a high-scoring affair. 22 runs have crossed the plate. And if you're listening from home, you might want to share this with other Corndogs fans and let them know what's going on, because it's been so much fun here at the ballpark. And as Justin Johnson is warming up, every pitching change is brought to you by IBEW Local 697, proud partner of the Corndogs, really getting their money's worth today with all the pitching changes between these two teams. And here we go. The Rocky theme song is starting to work its way to its end. Doug Loden worked his way to the plate. Justin Johnson wipes off his hand on the back of his pants after writing something in the dirt. It's been a Corndog rally. We need every Corndog fan cheering them on right now. Doug Loden for today, 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. The pitch, it sails away, and Tyler Schultz will move up to third base. No hesitation from Schultz to move up 90 feet. And if he were to score, they would make it a 1-run game. Loden, who's at the plate, represents that all-important tying run. Late in the ball game, bottom of the 8th.
Don't be surprised if we see a big swing here.
And there is that big swing from Loden. You can't get a piece of it. It's 1-1.
Loden's going to try to send this ball back as far as he can to hopefully get Schultz to reach home here.
The Corndogs have picked up 4 hits, and Loden has that one sail upstairs, 2-1. 4 hits this inning for the Corndogs, a hit by a pitch and a walk, and a sacrifice fly from Donovan Noble. One of the hardest hit balls we've seen from Noble. 2-1. Down low, 3-1. So 1 ball away from putting Doug Loden on base. Loden takes a deep breath after stepping out of the box. He steps back in. You hear it get real quiet in the stadium. The 3-1. Outside, ball 4. Doug Loden, patient at the plate, not trying to do too much, has reached base. And the tying run is at first base. And here comes Brett Mathies.
Brett Mathies at PNW was a Times Player of the Year in 2021 in high school, batted .494.
He takes one down the middle for strike 1. It's a good disciplined approach from Mathies, taking the first strike after seeing 4 miss from Justin Johnson. Johnson set the pitch, and that's a slider that breaks in for a strike. A beautiful movement there from Johnson, starting off at the hip of Mathies and working its way in. Mathies steps back in, wasting no time. 0-2. Hit off to the left and foul. Staying alive to see another one. Mathies has had plenty of at-bats this season, but he's only struck out once. Came into today with 10 plate appearances. This is his 5th on the day. The pitch. Drive up the middle. That's going to be a base hit for Brett Mathies. Here comes Tyler Schultz. He'll score. The tying run, Doug Loden, trots up the 3rd, and the tying run is 90 feet away. Incredible. Don't count out the dogs.
The stadium is alive here at Legacy Field. Corndogs fans are back in this game.
And the Corndogs are back in the game. Jake Ferry, where we started this rally, steps back up to the plate. That's 6 runs for the Corndogs. And they're just 1 out. So the go-ahead run is at first base now. Oilmen do have a pitcher warming up still, just in case. The pitch to Ferry. Ferry takes a big cut, and he misses. Nothing in 1. All he has to do is put this ball in play. The middle infield's playing back in case they want a double play. The corner's playing even with the bag. 0-1. And that's upstairs 1-1. Ferry had to back off as it got real close. Johnson comes in for Caleb Deal. He's giving up a walk and a single. Runners on the corners. 1-run game. Pitch. And Ferry backs off again. It's 2-1. Tying run at 3rd. Go ahead at 1st. Johnson works on that 3rd base side of the rubber. He set the pitch. Ferry steps out and misses it as his foot went wide, 2-2. So this is where the Corndogs need Ferry to choke up, have some good barrel control, and put the ball in play. The Oilmen are willing to surrender a run. The 2-2. And that's upstairs 3-2. And if you don't have a pulse, if you're not nervous about this next pitch, you don't have a pulse. It's 3-2. If Ferry draws a walk, the tying run, the go-ahead run would be in scoring position. Payoff pitch. And misses, ball 4. It was low and away. Ferry will go to 1st. Mathies up to 2nd. And that fryer is full of Corndogs once again, Noel.
Wow. What can I even say about what is going on here? A huge at-bat from Cal Curiel, who is still waiting to prove himself as a Corndog, and no better moment than right now.
And once again, the Oilmen are going to the bullpen. That's Nick Hayden. Hayden is a 5'11 right-handed pitcher from Aurora College. And Hayden pitched yesterday against the Corndogs. We went 1 inning, allowed 2 hits, no runs. He had 1 K, and that was it. He didn't allow any runs to score. And now he'll try to limit the damage, but the bases are loaded. You don't want to go anywhere. It's a 1-run game, and the Corndogs are still threatening. We'll be right back. Doing some math in between the break here, Andrew Mild with Noel Ferry. And Noel, I will say that we're developing our chemistry up here in the booth, but our high five is on point.
Oh, definitely.
This incredible inning by the Corndogs has gotten us into this game. The fans are back into this game. They have plenty to cheer about with 6 runs crossing the plate. And there have been, count this up, 11 hitters sent up to the plate this inning, and Curiel represents the 12th. Incredible inning by the Corndogs. You can't count this team out. And Cal Curiel now has the weight on his shoulders of trying to drive in at least the tying run, but the go-ahead run, which is Brett Mathies, is standing on 2nd base.
By no means is this inning even close to being over with only 1 out and runners on all bases.
Nick Hayden will deliver a first pitch strike to Curiel. So Nick Hayden comes in with a huge situation. The loneliest places in the ballpark right now are on the mound and in the batter's box. It's 0-1 count, the pitch. And Curiel watches a slider dip low, 1-1. Corndogs have had numerous hits, and a lot of them in the clutch as this lineup has finally come alive. I mean, a few innings where the Corndogs did not score, but this is their biggest one yet. 1-1. That's strike 2. Curiel didn't like that pitch, but it did clip the outer black of the plate. 1-2. Curiel steps back up to the plate. He's sporting those all blue gloves. Blue tape coming from those gloves. The 1-2. Hit to the right field, and 1 run scores. Here comes Matthijs. He's heading home. He will cross the plate. 13-12 Corndogs. Cal Curiel from Grace College delivers the biggest hit of the Corndogs in this game. They're up 13-12.
Officially taking the lead, Cal Curiel proves himself as a Corndog.
I just can't believe it. That is 8 runs this inning from Lake County. They've officially gotten that touchdown, the 2-point conversion, to get the lead, and they're still threatening. It was right down the line. It hugged it. No play available for Baker. Here comes Deal. It's inside, 1-0. The fans are really getting into it. Runners on the corners. There's still 1 gone. Deal has reached base all 4 times today with 3 walks and a single. And he's scored this inning already. 1-0. Down low, 2-0. It's Ferry over at third. And our hero right now, Curiel over at first. That 2 RBI base knock is giving the Corndogs the lead after they let go of it in the 5th. The pitch. It's upstairs to Deal, 3-0. So the Oilmen 8-run 5th inning has finally been matched by the Corndogs in the bottom of the 8th inning.
I'm assuming Jaden Deal is going to watch this one go past him no matter what. Try to get these bases loaded once again.
John, here comes a pitch from Heidel, and it's down low, ball 4. Just an incredible inning by the Corndogs. There's no other way to really put it, unless you want to try to describe it in any other way, Noel.
Improbable, impractical, but never impossible.
Oh, that's great. That was 3 eyes in one sentence. There you go. The walking dictionary, Noel Ferry. Here comes Ridgway. He had an RBI single in his last at bat. Bases loaded again for the Corndogs. The pitch, right down the middle for strike 1, but Ridgway was taking all the way after watching Deal get 4 straight, and Deal has reached base 5 times today. An incredible performance by the catcher. 0-1. Breaking ball, sails outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Ridgway had the big hit yesterday. He picked up a couple of more hits today. He's 2 for 4. The Corndogs are in position to get that sweep. Ridgway was a little bit late in that fastball. Hit it off to the left. It's 1-2. These fans waited a long time to cheer about something, and the Corndogs have delivered in the bottom of the 8th inning. As everyone has come up to the plate, some of them twice, and there's still only 1 out. And the 1 out was productive with a sac fly for Donovan Noble, who's on deck. Heidel is set, third base side, pitch. Ridgway hits one on the ground to the right side, trying to leg this one out. They go to the second to get Deal to throw the first. Not in time, so the run will score. 14-12, Corndogs lead it. That is now, count them up, 9 runs. But a great approach from Ridgway just to put the ball in play and give the Corndogs another run.
Corndogs, number 11, Donovan Noble.
So Deal's retired on the 4-6 putout. Will be runners on third and first. It's Curiel over at third, and that's upstairs to Noble, who backs off. My book's starting to look like a coloring book with all the runs that have scored in this game from both sides. Respectable offense. Pitch to Noble. And he hits one in the air, and the wind's going to blow this one out, and it lands just to our right. See some fans scurrying for that baseball. And I think as of right now, we are watching the greatest inning in Corndogs offensive history. And you and I had talked about it in the pregame show, and throughout this series, both these teams have shown plenty of signs of exploding at one point or another. And we've seen that today. 25 runs have been scored, and 17 of them in 2 half innings. 8 in the top of the 5th, and then that 9 that's still going on here in the bottom of the 8th inning. The 10th run, 90 feet away, and Cal Curiel delivered the go-ahead knock. Heidel fires the 2-1, and just missed that was Donovan Noble, and he knows it.
That went straight back, and if he caught a little bit better of a piece of that, that would have gone straight into center field.
And Ted Williams and Mark McGuire in the 99 All-Star game talked about once you miss one just like that, there's a different smell to it. And I'm thinking that there was a different smell in that foul ball from Donovan Noble. It's 2-2, 2 outs, 2 runners on. The pitch. Clobbered, left field. Will it stay fair? Hodges going for it. It does not stay fair. He gave it a really good look, but what a drive from Donovan Noble, who will go down as a scary, loud strike. We'll do 2-2 again.
Finally, even with the wind blowing in today, we're seeing some power at bats from players. Couple times where we almost saw the first home run in Corndogs history.
Yeah, you're referring to the Tyler Schultz double off the left field wall, off the Rosati sign, as Hodges tried to make that play. It's 2-2. The offering. Hit on the side, and Fama Cannon's there. But what an incredible inning by the Lake County Corndogs. 9 runs. We go to the 9th with the Corndogs 3 wins away from sweeping the Oilmen. Don't want to go anywhere. Share this Facebook Live. It's 14-12 Corndogs. It's the 9th inning. Now, I don't know if you're just tuning in or not, and if you are, where have you been? You have missed an incredible ball game. If you see the score bug in your top left corner, it's 14-12. And no, we're not playing football. This is a baseball game, and it's been a fun one to say the least.
Fun one is a bit of an understatement. Me and Andrew are barely able to stay in our seats here. And what can we even say? Just incredible at-bats from the Corn Dog in the bottom of the 8th inning. Staying composed even when down in the count. Specifically, Brett Mathis for the PNW, obviously now a part of the Corn Dogs. What an at-bat. I believe the count was 1-2 when he hit that single into right field to score 2 crucial runs. Just an amazing outing by the Corn Dogs.
Well, before this inning starts, the University of Chicago is proud to be the exclusive medical provider of your Lake County Corn Dogs. U Chicago Medicine is a leading community of physicians, researchers, and game changers that make a difference in your life. U Chicago Medicine at the forefront. And here we go. Got to hand out some awards at the end of this game, but who can you give it to, really? And here we go. Tyler Famacanon will lead off against the new pitcher, Dylan Matusak, and every pitching change is brought to you by IBEW Local 697. And the first pitch strike from Matusak, 9-1. Matusak pitched the game against the Vikings where he went 2 innings, allowed 1 hit, 1 walk, and struck out 2 for the first strikeout in Corndogs history. 0-1. Fawn McCannon watches the breaking ball. It's 1-1. Fawn McCannon is 0 for 2 today with a strikeout and a ground out. He reached on a walk and had a sacrifice bunt in the 7th inning. 1-1 deal, and that's up and in, 2-1. With this being a 2-run game, the tying run is on deck, so you do not want a leadoff walk to Tyler Fawn McCannon, who's batting ninth for the Oilmen today. Going on the windup is Matusak, the pitch. And that's a strike. Paints the inside corner right at the letters of Fawn McCannon. It's 2-2. After a huge bottom of the 8th inning, the next objective is to get an out and keep the momentum on your side. Matusak works on the first base side, a right-hander, the pitch. And it just missed. It worked its way around the strike zone, and it's 3-2. Count is run full. It's going to be a big payoff pitch. Here it comes. And that's inside, ball 4. So that's a big leadoff walk for the Oilmen as Fawn McCannon works his way up to first base, and that will put the Oilmen at the top of their order once again. This will be the 6th plate appearance for Dom Curcio, who's had a huge day. He's picked up 4 RBIs and 2 hits, and he's reached base on a hit by pitch. Pitch is hit on the ground and foul, 0-1. Either way, Noel, no matter what the result of this game is, it has been an exciting game, really showing how the Northern League is being incorporated into Lake County.
Oh, definitely. I mean, if you're looking for some entertaining sports watching, baseball viewing, come out to these Northern League games.
0-1, and that's called strike 2. Matusak settles in, paints the outside corner, and he's trying to get an out here. Curcio stepped out. He steps back in. He sports a maroon bat, black handle, lizard skin on the bottom. The pitch. It's called strike 3. Uncle Charlie drops in to say hello and gets the first out at called 3rd strike.
Yeah, Matusak feeling really good about that one. Honestly, you could see it from his body language. He thought that he had Fawn McCannon out there with that called ball 3 earlier.
Jason Hodges will now come up, and another player that's really had a big day. A double, a single hit by pitch, and a walk, and he scored. And that's a curveball that's too close for Hodges' liking. It's ball 1. Matusak's going to trade out that baseball for a new one. Sandlot style. You're trading up the chewed-up Babe Ruth baseball for the 27 Yankees baseball. Murderer's Row. It's a 1-ball, no strike count with 1 out. Runner at first. Tying run at the plate in Hodges. Here comes Matusak. And it stays upstairs for ball 2. As the cap flies off of Matusak's head, and he catches it on the bill. So not only does he pitch, he can also catch his cap mid-windup. He's working the first base side. He fires. It's hit in the air. Will it stay in play? Mathias deal, give it a good luck, but the wind does push it out enough to get out of play to make it 2-1. And now Hodges is going to readjust his shin guard on his left leg, his lead leg, before he gets back into action against Matusak. The batter at the plate represents that all-important tying run as the Corndogs are 2 outs away from winning this game. And there's called strike 2. Clips the top of the strike zone. Hodges didn't like the call. You saw the body language there. It was pretty clear he wasn't happy with it. It's 2-2.
Matusak coming in a huge moment for the Corndogs, a big ask.
He's going to come out of the stretch. Here he comes. And he did not get on top of that one the way he wanted it. It's a full count. Might be a good time for the Oilmen to get a runner moving on this 3-2 count, showing how much confidence they have in Jason Hodges to put a ball in play. 3-2, runner on the move. It's to the Curiel. Curiel secures it, throws it first, and Mathias hauls it in for the second out. And Fawn McCannon was on the move. That prevented a double play. And here we go. 2 outs. The Corndogs are 1 out away from a clean sweep. Can they complete the most improbable comeback in the history of this young franchise. Matusak getting his sign from Deal. Baker's the only man standing in the way. There's a pitch. There's a strike. Goes to that outside corner once again. Asked Dylan Matusak to paint my house. He only painted the corners. It's 0-1.
How fitting. Chris Baker at the plate now, the player both Andrew and I picked to be the game changer for the Oilmen.
That's outside. Just missed that corner 1-1. I'd say about 2 to 3 inches. It was close. Baker had a busy day. He had a big double in the 7th. There's a curveball just out. That one was even closer than the previous pitch. 2 balls, 1 strike. Baker represents the tying run now. Von McCannon's over there at second base. And it looks like Schultz and Noble switched positions. So Schultz is at second, Noble at short. It's in the dirt, blocked by Deal, 3-1. Hitter-friendly count for Chris Baker. Baker is 1 for 5 on the day with a strikeout. He reached on a fielder's choice and scored, and then hit a double. So Matusak takes his time. He circled the mound, and he's ready to go now. Deal relayed his signal, the pitch. Called strike 2. One of the fans below us knew immediately that was going to be a strike, and it's a huge pitch. If you are a superstitious person, do whatever you can to try and get Dylan Matusak to throw one over the plate for strike 3.
It's a situation all baseball players dream about.
3-2, 2 outs. Dead quiet in the stadium, time called. Baker knows how big of a situation this is, so he just wanted to take his time before Matusak. Matusak's already ready to go, wasting no time. The pitch. And it just missed. Ball 4. That was as close as it was going to get, but I will say Andy Pappas, the home plate umpire, was extremely consistent on that outside corner. Now the tying run is on first base. Man, that was close.
Matusak kicking himself there as a lot of players thought that was the end of the game right there.
That will send up Kyle Zarnecki. Zarnecki, 0 for 5, reach on an error. Here comes the pitch. And that's into tight Zarnecki, 1-0. So tying run at first. The go-ahead's at the plate. Matusak fires, and there's Uncle Charlie, strike 1. When he gets on top of that pitch and gets it to bend the way he wants it to, it is a gnarly pitch to try and hit.
Definitely.
1-1. Here we go. Ground ball left side. Curiel dives. He picks it up right to third base, and Von McCannon beats him there. But good job from Curiel to keep it on the infield and prevent Von McCannon from scoring. So that means that the bases are loaded and the tying run is in scoring position in the form of Chris Baker gives Zarnecki an infield single. And here comes David Marshall.
Marshall 0 for 3 on the day. Huge situation here to help his team out for the Oilmen.
Matusak gets a sign from his catcher, and there's a first pitch strike. That's huge for Matusak. He goes back to his old reliable, the curveball that dropped in. Marshall's a left-handed hitter, all red bat. The pitch, Uncle Charlie's in there again, strike 2. 1 strike away is Dylan Matusak. He's looking in. He works on the third base side. Marshall's back up to the box. He's wiggling the bat. He swings and misses. Oh! He swung and missed. Deal picks up the ball, applies the tag, and this game is over. The most improbable comeback has happened here at Legacy Fields. Corndogs sweep the Oilmen for the final score of 14-12. Incredible.
As I love to say, improbable but never impossible. The Corndogs believed, we believed, and it happened here at Legacy Fields. If you don't like this, then you don't like baseball.
I think it's safe to say that our Macron player of the game will have to go to Cal Curiel for delivering that big 2 RBI base hit down the right field line to give the Corndogs the lead. And we'll send Noel Ferry to interview Curiel and post it on our social media as soon as possible. And with that, you don't want to go anywhere. We're going to the Corndogs post-game show. and hopefully have an interview with Justin Heisman. Again, your final score, Corndogs 14, the Oilmen 12. Have you guys caught any exciting baseball games lately? As it was a fun one here from Legacy Fields to close out the opening weekend in Corndogs history. Again, the final score, 14-12 in favor of the Lake County Corndogs, completing the sweep of the Northwest Indiana Oilmen in one of the best games that we have ever seen put together on this field. Let's go through the line score real quickly. The Corndogs are victorious, moving themselves to 3-1 on the season as they scored 14 runs on 14 hits. They committed 2 errors and left 8 men on base today. The Oilmen dropped this one. They'll move to 2-3 as they lost on 12 runs, 12 hits, no errors. They left 11 men on base. Beerling is the winner. He goes to 1-0. Johnson picks up a loss. He goes to 0-1. And then Dylan Matusak picks up the save. And could go through all the scoring plays with you, but this post-game show would go for quite a long time. So we'll go through it as briskly as possible. And Corndogs jumped off to a big 3-0 lead in the bottom of the first inning after some clutch hitting. And one of them was from Brett Matthijs on a sac fly. And then there was no scoring until the top of the 5th inning, where the Oilmen scored 8 runs on 4 hits, 1 error, and left 3 men on base, as the Corndogs has completely lost the strike zone in that inning. And it was the longest inning for the Oilmen this season and for the Corndogs pitching-wise. Corndogs were able to respond with a pair of runs in the bottom of the 5th inning to make it 8-5 game. And just when we thought the Oilmen had put it away, after they had scored 4 runs in the top of the 7th inning, they were up 12-5. And going to the bottom of the 8th inning, the Corndogs only had 6 outs to work with, and they were able to score 9 runs on a whole bunch of hits. It was 6 hits, no errors. They end up leaving a couple of men on base, but they already done the damage, and the Corndogs were able to string together hits, hit by pitches, and walks. It was to a point where the only out for the longest time was from a sacrifice fly from Donovan Noble. But the big hit, and for our player of the game, it's Cal Curiel going down the right field line against Johnson and driving in the 2 runs to give the Corndogs the 13-12 lead. They would score one more time for good measure to make it a 14-12 game. Our off-square brewing stat of the game, the official brewing partner of the Corndogs, is the 9-run bomb in the 8th inning. I mean, what else would you think it is? When you score 9 runs late in the game like that, when you're down 7 runs, that's going to be your stat of the game. And the Corndogs came back, they rallied together, and they picked up to win to sweep the Oilmen. And then our University of Chicago Medicine play of the game I think we have to go with Cal Curial's hit into right field to give the Corn Dogs the lead. And for someone that's from the region, from Lake County, I have to say I was really impressed with the fan turnout tonight. You guys made this weekend extremely special. I can't wait to be joining you guys consistently here from the booth. You guys are the reason why we come back time and time again, trying to give you the family-friendly environment and building this community through baseball. For Noel Ferry, I'm Andrew Mild. We'll see you on Wednesday. And your final score, the Corn Dogs 14 and the Oilmen 12. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you later.